What's good, family? Let's tap into millennial breakups and ghosting. So I'll give you this story. We have a 5-year-old kid. He became an adult, but he was 5 years old when his parents separated. Upon the separation, the mother decided that she was done. She was done with the father. She was done with the son. The son just looked too much like the father. She had to move out of state and get away from all of it, right? And so she moved out of state, created a whole new family. And, we in a social media age. So, on social media, the mother is having the time of her life being a loving mother and all of that stuff, and doesn't acknowledge the son. And so the son grows up with just the father. The father, handles his business, but still the father cannot fulfill that feminine aspect that's needed in that son's life, right? The nurturing, right, aspect. And so the son grows up with this feeling of abandonment, the feeling of rejection, the feeling of not feeling wanted, right? And so what that does is force the fear of intimacy. So as he becomes an adult, while he loves and enjoys being in the presence of women, he cannot grow to really having a deep level of intimacy with women that he could have if he would just heal the relationship he had with his mother, or the understanding of what he had, the understanding of his mother, or if he actually had his mother in his life, right? So what you have is a man that's physically accessible, but not mentally, emotionally, spiritually accessible to women he genuinely cares about. And it just causes himself heartache and pain. And it causes the women he interact with heartache and pain. But let's get this clear. It's not my story. You know what I'm saying? My mother didn't abandon me at 5. No, that's not my story. I'm giving you a story because I know somewhere, whether it's 5, whether it's 10, whether it's 15, 13, whatever, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whatever it is, somebody, or somebody who story can relate to that, right? Can relate to that, whether it was their mother or their father that left. But somewhere in your life, somebody that can relate to that story. But let's get into the impact and what that can lead to. Because what happened with that child, with that son, with that 5-year-old who became a man, was that he had unhealed things that happened to him where his mother ghosted him. Right? His mother ghosted him. Didn't give him an explanation, nothing. Just got up out of Dodge and disappeared. Right? And so that's what he learned, is a learned behavior. So now is a defensive mechanism that, I gotta ghost people before they ghost me. Right? And so he fears intimacy because of that unhealed trauma, that unhealed wound. And these are things like ghosting. Like, I have done ghosting myself. I have been ghosted. And I could understand, the feeling of it. When somebody just up and disappear. It don't even have to be like somebody, you're interested in that level. It could be a friend. Like, just up, poof, disappeared. Right? And it's like, why is this so prevalent in millennial lives? Right? And it's just so many different angles, so many different theories that I have with this that we could really tap into. Right? One being, like we was just talking about, a parent ghosting the child. right? And then there's no reconnection there, right? The child grows up without the masculine energy from the father, or the child grows up without the feminine energy from the mother, or both, or both. And the child is now carrying that into their adult life where they didn't heal. And so what they're going to resort to is what we said earlier, is that they're going to resort to ghosting others as a way to avoid pain, right? Then another thing that we could tap into, another theory of mine, and these are old theories because I don't know everything. And I'm not going to sit here and claim to know everything. And I don't want to know everything, because I want to continuously learn. But another theory of mine is that when we look at most behaviors, most people go for pleasure and avoid pain, right? And so when people have a conflict with somebody that they're interested in, or somebody that they're friends with, or whatever the case may be, when they have conflict, what you have is people are more willing to avoid pain, and they'd rather go to comfort, because it's painful to have a heart-to-heart conversation where things, again, where you got to hear that you disappointed somebody, where you got to hear about your flaws, where you got to hear that, you made a mistake. The ego don't want to hear that. The ego want to hear that it's perfect all the time, that you never get it wrong, that you don't make mistakes. And so we rather go to that comfort zone. Man, let me avoid that conversation. Let me avoid this person, and I'm about to go up over to this club or whatever. It's good vibes only. Because I know they about to bring them negative vibes, because I messed up. And I don't want that negative energy around me, right? So people are going to go to comfort before they go to pain and feeling that discomfort. And the reason why is because what's not really taught, especially in impoverished communities, is how to communicate, how to be leaders, efficient leaders, and how to hold ourselves accountable. Like, we're very great at holding others accountable, myself included, but what about holding ourselves accountable, right? Without beating ourselves up, being compassionate with ourselves, but holding ourselves accountable, and stop utilizing outside external factors for the reasons why we are failing in our lives, right? And so these things are not taught within our community, especially in the impoverished ones, right? Then we also, another theory of mine is people are tapping into the survival instinct. Right now we're in an exposure era where if you sit there and say, you pour out your feelings, you pour out your emotions, you pour out how you genuinely feel to somebody, you run the risk of them screenshotting you, putting you up on the internet, or sharing it with their friends, and then people having their laughs and giggles, or you going up to somebody and really professing how you feel about them, and they talking crap about you, because this is the exposure era, and that's that's what's up right now, for a lack of a better way of saying it, right? And so people are going into survival mode where it's like, shoot, you ain't about to hurt me, you ain't about to expose, because that's people opening up, allowing themselves to be vulnerable, right? And so people do not feel safe. They do not feel safe in modern era relationships because every day or weekly or monthly, they're seeing somebody exposing somebody when this person was just trying to show interest. They was just trying to show them their love, their appreciation, right? You even have times where somebody just give a heartfelt message and the person is not even trying to expose them disrespectfully, but they just put it out on the internet without getting permission from the person, and they just put it out there, and they don't know what that person may be experiencing. Like, dang, that message was supposed to be one-on-one for me and you, but you done now put it on the internet and you shared it with the world. I didn't give you that permission. So now people are, they're afraid, right? And so instead of going and telling people how they genuinely feel, people don't know how to deal with those emotions. They don't know how to deal or express those emotions, and then they become afraid because they don't feel safe with this person. So what they do, they go ghost. They go ghost. And another theory that I have is that people ghost themselves and their emotions. And that's tied in together, right? And what I mean by ghosting themselves and their emotions, like somebody might genuinely feel sad about something, but instead of like really experiencing it, like they'd be like, yo, I'm gonna go out clubbing to avoid this pain. You know, instead of going out into nature and like, yo, like meditating and like sitting with it, seeing what's going on. Or they might go drink. They might go do some drugs or whatever the case may be, whatever their vice is. Go to the casino, you know, go to, I don't know, just making it up. Go eating a whole bunch of cake and they know it's not good for them. Right? And so they're ghosting their emotions. They're trying to hide it, or they're trying to run from it, hide from it, and ghosting. And so when they do it to themselves, when we do it to ourselves, what do we think we're gonna do to others? What do we think when people show their emotions to us that we are uncomfortable with? What are we gonna do? Ghost them. Because we do it to ourselves. We fail ourselves in that way. You know, and I know this because I operate like this. From time to time, I operate like this. You know? And I want to end it off with this theory, right? Is that I believe the reason why ghosting is so prevalent right now is because in our past lives, we have ghosted. In our past lives, we have ghosted our purpose. When we incarnated here before, we came with a mission. We came with a mission and we did not serve that mission for whatever reason. We found something. It was either, we didn't think it was going to generate us enough money. We didn't think it was popular enough, whatever. We whatever the reason was, we ghosted our purpose. So in turn, we had to experience ghosting, right, from one or both of our parents. Why? Because we are the parent of our mission, of our purpose. And we didn't parent it. We abandoned it. We abandoned our mission. We rejected it. And in turn, we hurt so many people because we didn't serve in the capacity that we signed up for. We signed up and we didn't fulfill it. We didn't serve how we were supposed to serve. So then we reincarnated, and now we have a parent who is not serving in the way that they're supposed to serve. And so that's one of the lessons that's being shown to us and showing us the impact of when we don't serve our mission. So that's something we got to remember. We got to remember when we identify, when we learn what our mission is, and to eliminate all excuses. We can't blame our children. We can't blame the lack of money. We can't blame the lack of time. We can't blame the economy. We can't blame the government. Can't blame your girlfriend. Can't blame your boyfriend. Can't blame your parents. Because we ain't trying to hear those excuses. We wasn't trying to hear those excuses when we was children and growing up to becoming adults. We have a mission, a purpose to serve. And what we got to do is that we got to eliminate, what's getting caught up in what's popular now, what's trending now, or what's going to generate me the most money. You don't know how much money your purpose. You could be a painter and you probably thinking, you only gonna make 50,000. You might end up being making 100 million, because it's what you supposed to do. And the other people that's doing it, probably don't have the same gifts and talents as you or whatever. But nevertheless, we can't put none of these things before our mission and our purpose, because then we end up ghosting what we're supposed to parent. And then we have faced it in our current lifetime. And if we continue to go down this path of ghosting our mission and our purpose, we may face the same lesson in the next lifetime. So that's one of my theories. That's one of my theories, family. I hope y'all really, was able to digest what I was speaking about, build off on it, have a discussion, leave a comment. You get what I'm saying? Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell for future videos, share with your friends, and let's keep this thing going so I could learn from y'all. You get what I'm saying? Y'all can learn from me. But I really appreciate y'all tapping in with my videos. I appreciate the people that send me suggestions for the videos. And continue to stay tuned. Peace, family.